Welcome back to another Liverpool post-match review show for the Armchair Pundits. And once again, it's coming repetitive, really and truly. Once again, I'm talking to you after losing a game, but this time we've lost at Anfield. And to be honest, it's the worst of the lot. Brentford was bad, but this was horrific, being at Anfield. Before I go any further, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to hit that notification button, and don't forget to comment. So, we've lost 3-0 at home. I couldn't even tell you the last time we lost 3-0 at home. And the last time we had a defeat as big as this, I think we lost in 2021 to Man City 4-1. But that's Man City. And in 2021, Man City were really on a high. So for us to lose 3-0 at home to a team that before the game started was sitting 19th in the league, to a team that before the game started hadn't won a game in the Premier League since August, to lose a game 3-0 at home to a team that hadn't won an away game in the Premier League all season is quite frankly a disgrace. Slot is causing problems for himself each week, picking players he shouldn't be picking, playing players out of position when he doesn't need to. And when I say that, I mean Isak. Isak hasn't shown any reason this season in any single game why he should start a game ahead of Ekitike. Just come off an international break. Ekitike scores for France against Ukraine. Fantastic goal. Comes on as a sub, granted, but scores a fantastic goal. Then plays another game, plays well in that game as well for France. Whereas Isak, who's just come up from an injury, so isn't fully fit, plays about 15 minutes for Sweden in a loss. And then because he was on a yellow card, they don't use him in the next game. So he's played 15 minutes while he's been away. And again, he hasn't played a single few minutes as a Liverpool player where you can say that's why we spent over £100 million on him. So I'm expecting to see Ekitike start this game. And I'm annoyed that he doesn't. And I'm sitting there thinking, okay, Isak is the better striker before the season starts. Cool. So hopefully you come on today and you show yourself. You show why Slot believes you should be starting this game. For me, this should be a case where he plays 30 minutes, Ekitike starts, plays 60 minutes. If you're trying to get Isak fit, in my opinion, that's what you do. Because we're in a situation where we need to win games. So trying to get Isak into full fitness, when you've got a striker that's scoring goals for us, granted he hasn't scored in a little while, but that's partly because of what's been going on with him getting dropped initially. But out of the two guys, we've got one that's in form, one that's doing well, and one that's not. So start the one that's doing well, because we need to win games. But we're now sitting here, and we've lost 6 of our last 7. We've now lost at Anfield 3-0. Unacceptable. Then you move on to right back. Who's been our player this season so far? In a dismal season, Szoboszlai has been the one person that is coming out this season with credit, and yet again we move him to right back. Why? You've got Gomez. His excuses, he didn't train that much this week, and he hasn't played many 90 minutes. I don't care. You give Gomez 60 minutes then, and then you put Ramsey on for the next half an hour, or you start Ramsey. The one game Ramsey has played for us this season, he's no world beater, but he's a natural right back, and he played well to start off against Crystal Palace. So play him at right back. Keep Szoboszlai in his natural position. Centre midfield. People can argue, you've got Jones, you've got Gravenberch in there. Fine. But we need Szoboszlai in there as well. So Slot is just making decisions that, listen, I've got people saying he needs to go tomorrow. He should have gone 3-4 weeks ago. And right now, someone asked me, James, where do you stand on Slot? And my answer was, he's in his overdraft. He's living in his overdraft right now because that credit is running out and has run out. He's fully on borrowed time. Do I want him gone? No. Should he go tomorrow? No. But he needs to fix this. And he needs to start by making the right decisions. Yes, he's the guy that's won us the league last season. Yes, he's the guy that's an actual manager and has done it. But the mistakes he's making, for me, aren't mistakes that you have to be a Premier League manager to be able to fix and be able to get right. They're simple. And he's making silly mistakes as far as I'm concerned. You look at the first goal and there's going to be contention around it. Should it have been a goal because of what happened against Man City? For me, the goal we scored against Man City should have stood. So I'm not going to turn around and say, well, that goal shouldn't have stood. Today's goal should have stood. But the issue is around consistency. And what they're going to hang on is, the reason why that goal was disallowed is because Robbo made a move. He ducked. Today, they said there was no movement. You watch the replay, it's slight, but he moves his leg inwards so it doesn't hit him. So he makes a movement. Is it a big movement like Robbo's? No, but he makes a movement. But again, I will say this, as I've said already just now. Both goals should have stood. So I'm not going to sit here and say we were robbed because that goal shouldn't have stood. It should have stood. The goal in our team should have stood. But that's 1-0 down. We can fix that. We can do better. And then people call us Liverpool like they have before. At this point, you probably could have said it was Liverpool because they scored a second goal not long after, and we got extremely lucky because the referee gave it as no goal going up. So as far as he's concerned, it was no goal. Goes up to VAR, and they then have to prove conclusively that it definitely doesn't touch his arm or his hand, and they can't in their eyes. I personally think it should have been a goal. I didn't see the ball hit his hand. But because it goes up there as no goal, they can't see reasons to overturn their decision. So we get lucky. We get lucky because we should be 2-0 down. And going into half-time, last season, we were lauding Slot. We go in and go down at half-time, or go in 1-1 at half-time, or 0-0, and he makes a tactical change. And within a few minutes, we've scored. We've done this, we've done that. Now, it's deer in headlights. Go in at half-time, and we're thinking to ourselves, is there really going to be a change? Yes, he makes a change not long after, and he makes a substitution, taking Konaté off, 55 minutes, who was absolutely horrendous. But actually, before I get there, let me look at the stats of the first half, because the stats were not good enough in terms of the final ball. As you can see in the screen, 72% possession. But in my opinion, lots of sideways football. 28 for them. Expected goals, we should have scored. 1.01 to their 0.25, but they get the goal. 10 shots to their 4. We have 3 on target, they have 2 on target. We have 1 big chance which we miss. But a lot of it, I can't sit here and say, wow, Sells made fantastic saves, because I can't really tell you when he made a great save. Yes, he's obviously made saves, made 3 saves in the game, but not outstanding saves that you're thinking, wow, we should have scored that. We're lucky, Nottingham Forest are lucky. It was just poor. And I don't know what more we can take, or how much more we can take, because, again, I'm not Slot out yet. I'm not. I came into this game full of optimism because Anfield is a fortress. Anfield has been a fortress. Hey, we lost 1-0 at home to Nottingham Forest last season. I'm not going to compare the two because that was a smash and grab. This, we got battered. Because I say we got battered, not in terms of the statistics. We got battered because we didn't look like winning today at all. They looked like they were going to win. Where was the diehard, let's defend? Every single time we took a shot, block after block after block for Nottingham Forest, we're here making mistakes. The first goal we concede, it's a simple way of clearing the ball. Konaté through to try and take the ball off him, kick it out, kick it back to the goalkeeper, all the options, but he takes a heavy touch. I'm looking at his boots thinking he's got lead in his boots or cement in his boots, kicks it out for a corner. One thing we know we are weak on, do not give away corners. We give away a corner. Do we defend it properly? No. We go 1-0 down. I already spoken about that goal. Should have defended it better. Then we go into the second half. And before we realise it, they've scored. And it's like, come on. Like, we don't even wait. 46 minutes in, 1 minute after kickoff, Savona scores. And it's poor again. Poor defending. At times I'm sitting there lost for words, thinking to myself, can we really come back? And I sit there and I'm like, okay, cool. If we get the next goal, we can do this. But do we put enough pressure on? No, we don't. We look at the stats of the second half that you can see on your screen. Again, we've got all the ball, but doing nothing with it. 77, even more of the ball in the first half, 77% possession to their 23%. But now expected goals, 0.84 to theirs, 1.15. So we don't look like we're scoring. We're not getting shots on target. We have 11 shots, they have 11 shots. But the big difference is we have 1 on target, they have 5 on target. Big chances, none for us, 1 for them. And they score it. Should Liverpool be losing at home 3-0? Never. Never. Don't care who it's against. That should not happen. And it's just appalling what we're having to watch right now, because we're watching a manager who is making changes, going to 3-3-4 at one point, because he thinks we need more goals, taking off Konaté, bring on Ekitike. When is Gomez going to give him a chance? Konaté has had stinker after stinker after stinker, and he still gets to play. And every time he gets asked about Gomez, oh, he hasn't done this, he hasn't done that. Put him on the pitch. Let him play with Van Dijk. Because right now, Konaté is not it. And he should be the one sitting there riding pine. And it should be Gomez, the one that should be helping us and trying to get us through this situation we're in now. He's making mistake after mistake. Don't play a right midfielder or a centre midfielder, our best player, at right back. Don't do it. Put Gomez at right back if you have to. Put Ramsey at right back if you have to. Make that decision. Because Playing Szoboszlai at right back, he had one good game early on where he played well. Since then, he hasn't been effective. We have not won those games. I'm not even sure if we won that game at the time. I think we did because it was when we won 5 out of 5 at the beginning. But that is now history. No one remembers that. No one wants to remember that. That's the only reason why we're not sitting bottom of the table right now. Because right now, we're in relegation form. Right now, he's in the form that gets managers sacked. He's lost 6 out of 7. Unacceptable as a Liverpool manager. Completely unacceptable as a Liverpool manager. And there's no mitigation for it. There's none. Because it's decisions he's making. We look toothless. Isak, up front, doesn't look fit. Doesn't make the movements. Doesn't run. Hardly had any touches. First half, 8 touches. Ends the game on about 15 touches. Ekitike comes on and in his short spell has more touches than Isak. More movement than Isak. So again, he's making mistakes that he cannot afford to make at this juncture. He's gone into the press conference, he's gone into post-match presses and said it's on him. He's got to fix it. You needed to fix that 5 games ago. Fans have had enough. Fans are leaving. They're walking out. That was not allowed previously. When we were losing, that was not allowed. But why was that not allowed? Because there was no reason for it. Slot is giving fans a reason to leave. Slot is giving fans the reason to leave the stadium early because they can't take what they're watching. He's not giving the fans a chance to rally behind. Fans are, you hear it. You hear them cheering the players on still at 3-0. But when you see fans leaving, what does that tell you? What does that tell you, Slot? Back up your ideas. Because previously, it was a case of, okay, cool. We've got Nottingham Forest at home. We don't lose at home. We win that game. Even if it's a tough win, it's a 2-1, or I predicted 3-1. More for me. They scored 3 goals. We didn't. We didn't score any. We win that game. We go to we play PSV at home, and we win that game as well. We won 2 out of 2. This is my thinking. Then we've got West Ham, who are not doing well. Back-to-back wins. Doesn't have to be great wins, but it's wins. Then, obviously, Sunderland playing really well. It could possibly be a draw. It's at home, but the way they're playing and the way they play their style of football is something we don't come up against well. It could be a draw, but we should win. Then we play Leeds, who are struggling. It should be a win. So our next 4 games, in my eyes, should have been 10, maybe 12 points. But minimum 10 points is what we should have been looking at. We're already down on that. The most we can get is 9. And I'm looking at it now. West Ham are on the up. And then we're now sitting there thinking, can we go there and turn them over? We should be. But I don't have that confidence right now that that's what's going to happen. But I've spoken enough. I'm going to go through the play ratings. They're going to be quick because there's not much I'm going to say about them because there were not that good of performances out there. So, as I always do, I'll start with the goalkeeper. Alisson conceded 3 goals. Can't really give him a good performance. When I look at saves, he makes 4 saves, so it could have been more, but he's conceded 3 goals. So Alisson gets a 5. Gets a 5. Doesn't have any chance to end the goals, if I'm being completely honest. But there's one point where he throws it straight to their winger, and we're looking for a goal. And it's like, can it be 4-0? Yes, that's late in the game, but he was rattled. Szoboszlai, first 30 minutes, cool. We were good, and he looked good. But after they scored, it was lights out. Not much more coming from him. So Szoboszlai, I give a 4. Konaté, not good enough. Should have been taken off earlier, probably at half-time. After he made that mistake, you could tell his confidence dropped to the floor, and he was making mistake after mistake. Even the goal that got disallowed, he was at fault for. So he gets a 3.5. Van Dijk, he wasn't that bad today, if I'm being completely honest, but we conceded with 3 goals. So he gets a 4.5. Kirkes, he gets a 4. Not enough duels won. I look at it, 1 out of 3 aerial duels. Wins 2 out of 2 of his ground duels, but no blocks and just not good enough in general. I look at our midfield. Gravenberch, not good enough, gets a yellow card. Lucky it wasn't a red card, if I'm being honest. Lucky it wasn't a red card. He gets a 5. McAllister, lucky to stay on the pitch for as long as he did. Not good enough. Really had to start the season well. Had a little half versus Aston Villa was okay. Done well against Real Madrid. But Premier League football, he's been shocking. Absolutely shocking. So he gets a 4. Curtis Jones, wasn't a great performance from him either. He gets a 5. Move on to Gakpo, another one, 4. Isak doesn't get in the game at all. He gets a 3. Mo Salah. I spoke to one of my friends and I said, you know what? I can't even sit there and say, where was Mo Salah today? He was missing, he was this, he was that. Yes, we weren't good, but it was a better performance from Mo Salah. He actually dribbled past players today, 4 dribbles today, but we haven't scored. He's got no assists, so he has to get a 5. He has to get a 5. I look at our bench. Ekitike comes on, does okay, does well. I've given him a 5.5. Robbo, no really impact. He gets a 5. Chiesa, again, no real impact. He gets a 5. And Gamora comes on, 78th minute. Not really much of an impact either. He gets a 5. I move on to Slot. He gets a 3. He gets a 2. Gets a 2. Starting lineup was poor. Subs were poor. Reasonings were poor. And the performance as a manager today was poor. He's got a lot to do. Because if this continues, they will have to sack him. Because if we keep losing, can he go 7 out of 8 losses? 8 out of 9 losses? That can't happen. It can't happen and him still keep his job. So a lot of people have asked me, what is your breaking point? Like I said when I started this podcast, right now, he's in his overdraft. And he's close to 0 on that. Very close to 0. So guys, that's it from me today. As you can see, not happy with the performance today. Absolutely unacceptable performance from the players and from the manager. Am I confident of a win next week against West Ham? No. And that's a ground where we've gone there and battered them time and time again in recent years. But guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share and hit the notification button. This has been James for Armchair Pundits, Liverpool post-match review. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.